Hello, everybody. Scott Golden, Golden Opportunities Coaching here. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome to those of you who are seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is we bring about psychological and emotional topics, and we try to discern those as quickly and easily as possible in relatable language. Anyway, today we're going to talk about signs you've fallen out of love with your partner. Also, please like, subscribe, comment below. Amazed at the growth of the channel, and thank each and every one of you for that. If you can share, that would be helpful. Anyway, so about 6 or 7 signs that you're falling out of love or have fallen out of love with your partner. Now, personally, upon doing this topic and its reaction to other videos I've seen, I questioned doing it in this way, only because to fall out of love is a misnomer. True unconditional spiritual love is unconditional acceptance of another person. Therefore, you cannot fall out of something unconditional, but the perception that we are in love is something we can fall out of. So there's about 7 things I want to go forward with here. When you are in a happy, healthy relationship, your focus on the flaws of another person is minimal. You acknowledge they have flaws, I have flaws, you have flaws, we all have flaws, and it's acceptable that the other person has flaws. It's acceptable that ultimately these flaws can be annoying sometimes, but we look past them because the belief is that the benefits outweigh the negatives, right? The positives outweigh the negatives, and the person matters to us. And so when that happens, we begin to look at the person and say, gee, I love you, even though you do this annoying thing or that annoying thing. But when a relationship is dying, when the love is fading, the focus becomes on the flaws themselves. And so the things that you used to tolerate become annoyances to intolerable, and that only gets worse with time. So when you're falling out of love with a person, you will, in fact, get to a place where the majority of your focus is on their flaws. The next thing is you talk less. So in the beginning stages and mid stages of a healthy relationship, the desire to communicate, whether it be through FaceTime, as in the online application, or time spent in person, or by phone or email or whatever, the desire to communicate is almost constantly present, even if you're not acting on it constantly because you have other things to do. In the back of your mind, you're thinking, I want to talk to my significant other about this or that. And even in the course of a normal, healthy relationship, there will be days or weeks or sometimes months where you talk less because focus is on other things. But when talking less becomes something you're looking forward to, as in, how can I get out of having a conversation with this person? Or I get nervous or anxious around the idea of talking to this person because I expect them to be negative, I expect them to be harsh, I expect us to disagree or somehow not make time for each other in a constructive, positive way. That's a sign the relationship is dead or dying. Along with that is less time spent, whether that be time spent talking or physical time. When you're looking for reasons not to be in the same place or in the same space with a person, you're falling out of love with them. And ultimately, while it may be repairable in the short term, if your natural inclination is to avoid a person, there are deeper issues. And while you can temporarily, maybe for a few months or a few years, retrain yourself to desire them again, it's not a solid foundation for a future. You would have to address the root causes of that desire to spend less time, which means you've fallen out of love with them. The next one, which is super simple, is when you desire others, whether it be emotional attention, whether it be mental stimulation, whether it be physical attraction, and you're consumed with, pretty consistently, the idea that being with someone else would be a better idea. Now, this isn't limited to just the physical side of things, because to limit it would do away with things such as polyamory, open relationships, and the like, and those things exist. So there are situations where a physical tryst or relationship can be within the confines of a loving primary partnership. However, when the desire to be with someone else supersedes the desire to work on the primary relationship, and that desire is consistent and eroding on a regular basis, that's a sign you've fallen out of love with that person. Next thing is when you look at them, you see no future. Now, in the beginning stages and mid stages of a healthy relationship, the desire to plan a future and create a future together is a central focus of the idea behind the relationship. In other words, we look at the future and we say, I can't wait until we do ABC, whether that's buy a house together, have children, go on certain trips, travel together, learn a certain hobby together, whatever it is. The togetherness, the unity of the relationship is a central focus. When the love is gone and the relationship is in the process of dying, one or both people will not see the other person in their respective futures. Instead, they may see somebody else, they may see themselves being alone, they may see themselves beginning to date again, but they do not see that primary focus in the relationship because they've already decided this person doesn't fit, this person isn't in line with where I'm going or what I want, or I'm not in line with what they want, and we need to separate. The next one is the relationship is no longer the priority. Now, sometimes there are times where we have to put work as a priority, or children, or an alien family member, or any other number of things. However, in a healthy, growing relationship, the relationship comes back to being a central priority for each person because the maintenance of such and same is a desire that continues to grow. When a partner is not a priority, the relationship and love is already dying or dead because we either get to a place where we take them for granted or we become indifferent or apathetic to their existence. The last one is actually summing up the whole list. Respect is non-existent. Whether it be mutual respect or one-sided respect, and respect of boundaries, ideas, concepts, requests, whatever have you. When respect is gone, then trust is gone. When trust is gone, the relationship has already ended. While it is possible to regain trust, it takes a lot of work and it's improbable. For a person to regain trust means that they have to somehow forgive and forego their emotions as well as the primary focus of memory on negative events that cause the distrust. While it does happen, usually this is a commitment to restarting the relationship as though it did not exist in its previous form, and it requires commitment of a deep emotional level from both parties. So, that's the idea behind the concept of falling out of love. If you believe you are falling out of love and want to work through that, I do offer coaching around that and other topics. But until then, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.